The main goal of this lesson is to develop the very first script. The script can be edited in any text editor. Here I will use Nano. Type Nano and next give the name of the script. Here example. Often the scripts get the name with extension sh, but that's more a best practice than a real need. You probably already know that file extensions are not so important in Linux world. I will start with entering a shebang, hash, exclamation mark, bin, bash. Just to recall, this information directs operating system that this script should be started using bash interpreter. Now I will enter a comment. Now I will define a variable. That's very important. When creating a variable, I cannot add additional space before equality sign or after it. Additional spaces are not allowed. The text is enclosed in the quotes, but I could use apostrophes too. There are some differences between text enclosed into quotes and text enclosed into apostrophes, and we will discuss them later. For now, just remember that a text needs to be enclosed into one or another. To use an already initiated variable, I need to precede the variable name with a $sign. Here the echo command should just display the text stored in the variable text. One of the best practices is to end the script with the exit statement that determines the exit code of the executed script. If in the script flow everything went correct, the exit code should be 0. If on the other hand there was an error and I don't care about reporting more details about the failure type, I can just exit the script with value 1. If I would decide to report more details about the condition met in the script, I could exit with value, let's say, 101 for one type of failure, 102 for another type of failure, and so on. I think that's indeed a good way of letting know the caller process what went bad in the script. Put attention to the colors used by Nano. Nano is aware that I write here lines of shell code. Each part of the script has specific color. Comments differ from variable name, or from a text, or from an uncommented command. But wait a moment, how has it happened? The reason for displaying the script in color is that when creating a file, I decided to add extension sh. Nano, seeing the extension, knows now how to color the text. As you see, generally on Linux we don't care about file extension, but when used, some tools may take advantage of it. Good time to save the script with Ctrl+S and to exit the editor with Ctrl+X. The command file can now be used to confirm that the newly created file is a script. How to run a script? One of the crazy ideas could be, let's just type the name of the script, but it fails. To run a file, I need to enter the path to the file, absolute or relative. So now the relative path determines that the file example.sh should be started from the current directory. Unfortunately, this attempt will fail as well. The reason for that is that an executable file on Linux needs to have assigned permission to execute the file. So I will change the permission using change mode user plus execute. When displaying full information about the file, I can read that the owner of the file, and this is my user now, has permission to start the file. Okay, so now I can try to run the script again, using the same command as previously. Finally, I have success. Nice, the third time is lucky. To finish that topic, let's confirm that running the script without path, relative or absolute, still fails. Indeed. Starting a script without pointing to it with the path could work, but for this, the file would need to be in one of the directories defined in the environmental variable path. Unfortunately, my current directory is not on the list. Let's also check what would happen if I would omit the file extension. I'm copying the file to one without sh extension. Now, with Nano, I can open the file again and... Wow! The syntax highlighting is still correct. Nano sees the shebang defining the file as a script, so no wonder. When I list the file properties, I can see that the file is still executable. So let's start it, pointing to it with absolute path. The file does not have the sh extension, but still can be started. That's good. Let's continue our experiments. I will now remove the shebang line. After saving the changes, I will try to run the script once again. What will happen? It is still running. Good, but why? That's because when I start a file with the execute permission and the shebang is missing, then the file will be interpreted with the current shell. But now, when I open the file again in the editor, I will not see the syntax highlighting. Why? Currently the file is missing the shebang, and also the file is missing the extension sh. Keeping this in mind, indeed, Nano has no option to correctly understand the script and to highlight it correctly. The last command of the script was the exit 0. How can I check the exit code of the script? I will call the script once again. Immediately after running the script, and in more general, after starting any command, I can check the value stored in the system variable $?. Well, correctly I should say in the variable ? because the dollar sign is used only to get the value from the variable ? Anyway, in our case the result is 0. That means the script finished with success. But nothing prevents me to simulate an error condition. I will just edit the file again and I will replace the exit 0 with exit 1. After saving the file and after calling the script again, when I check the exit code of the script, I see value 1. Now the external process, the caller, was informed that something went wrong. Let's review this lesson. The script file may have extension sh, but that's not mandatory. The first line of a script should contain a shebang. This line allows the Linux shell to start the script with a correct interpreter. In the code, watch out any additional spaces. They make sometimes the code more readable, but in case of bash script, they may break the script. Scripts should communicate the caller process the result of the execution of the script. It should be 0 when everything was okay, or any non-zero value in case of failure. When running a script, please make sure it is saved in one of the directories included in the environment variable path, or point to it using absolute or relative path. To start the script, I need to have the execute permission on the file containing the script. Finally, to check the result of the script, whether it was executed successfully or failed, a variable $? Should be used. Well, the scripts must use variables a lot. To better understand how to work with variables, we will focus on the topic in the next lesson. See you!